What's up, future me? It's you from the past, reminding you of the time that we sat through a season change. Like, look at this tree. Look at these leaves on the ground. So a full-on season change. It's fall, while waiting for our Rivian R1S to be repaired. And we're in day 14 of enterprise rented Chrysler minivan camping, waiting for the Rivian R1S to be repaired. We've been staying at this campsite. It's been 10 days. I mean, look at this place. Fairly beautiful. Over the course of the 10 days or so we've been here, been 10 days, 9 days, 9 days, 10 days. Been 14 days since we dropped off the R1S at the service center in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, and they've been working on it, and we've been getting some updates here and there. We've been back to the service center twice to pick up the equipment that you see behind us. I guess in order, it's the screen tent, the bathroom tent, and then the SUV tent that could attach to an SUV, but you can also use it independently. Been using it independently, sleeping in it. Got the wet capot and portable table with the Mac Mini set up. Starlink Mini providing the Wi-Fi. Been working great, allowed me to keep up with some work. Lots of different kinds of work. I'll say one sort of benefit, if there's a benefit, to this little sidetrack endeavor being stranded for 14 days is that it's really forced us to slow down. Before we had to turn in the R1S, we were really just going from place to place to place, and it always felt like constantly in motion, constantly trying to go to the next place to see the next great thing. And while I am, starting to get kind of sad and frustrated that we haven't been to Chicago, Milwaukee, Green Bay, Painted Rocks, Lakeshore, these places on the Upper Peninsula of Michigan that we had planned to see, there is a certain niceness, luxury to every day being slower, just kind of waking up in the tent and taking things as you go, and also being to work on things. I mean, I think it's a big part of the reason why I haven't recorded anything. I've just been sitting down in front of the computer, doing my computer work, but also been writing a lot more. Gotten a lot more writing done in these past 14 days, or not 14 days, when we get here, 10 days, than I have on the first 48 days of the trip, before the R1S died. But this is what the setup looks like. We have these two bins. This bin was normally in the frunk, right next to that oyster cooler. This is our powered bodega freezer, which is, it's at 11 degrees right now. It's freezing things. This is normally in the sub frunk. That bin is what we would keep in the, I guess it's below the bed area. Got an air fryer, Instant Pot. Yeah, we've basically been set up here for a while and have been doing some food prep, making all of our own meals. Like, one thing that's kind of cool in here, you can see, this is like a new thing we figured out, is you cook the brown rice and then you freeze it, and you can take it out little by little to make meals, which is awesome. Yeah. But things are hopefully nearing the end here as we get closer and closer to maybe, hopefully, the R1S being repaired. So in the time since we dropped off the R1S at the service center, which was September 4th, we have been back to that service center twice. The first time we went there, they were still assessing the vehicle and figuring out what was wrong. And we got a very technical breakdown from one of the technicians at Rivian about what he thought were the problems. And he believed that there was a problem with the onboard charger and its connection to the battery pack. and there might have been a problem in like the high voltage connections, and that's where the possible electrical hazard came from, is maybe some kind of connector was loose and it was arcing and all this other stuff. And then we went back 2 or 3 days later to basically pick up more of our equipment as it became clear that we would have to settle in for a longer term. Like for the first 4 days or so, we were sleeping in the minivan, the same way we were sleeping in the R1S. But on this next trip down there, was when we picked up all of our tents and basically set up the way you have it seen here, future me, right? And there was a CSR there who, he prefaced his comments by saying, "Oh, I'm not super technical. I don't fully know, but we're replacing your high voltage battery pack, like the entire battery pack of this R1S, 140 kilowatt hours, right? Because there's a fault inside of the pack. So there's connections between the individual modules, because the Rivian battery pack has modules inside of it, and there's like wiring between those modules that was faulty, which necessitated replacing the entire pack. And it just so happens that this facility in Shepherdsville is a service center and a parts redistribution center and a parts remanufacturing center. They said that they remanufacture their batteries there and their drivetrains there. So, I mean, maybe they remanufactured our whole pack, or they just took the pack out and brought in a fresh new pack that's been remanufactured, hopefully one that does not have this manufacturing flaw. So I suppose that's what it would be. But, I've kind of like set it in my mind that when the vehicle is ready, when we go there to pick it up, that's when I will ask the technician who worked on it to give like the more fully fleshed out, blow by blow, play by play explanation for what is the problem. And our Rivian R1S is 4 months old. We got it like the first week of May. It's now September, and it has 9,845 miles on it. So 4 months, 9,845 miles, and the high voltage battery pack died. It had to be replaced. I'm hoping that it's a fluke, but you also have to be completely honest with yourself that this does kind of make you wonder about the long-term durability or reliability of the vehicle moving forward. You also can't help but think that this vehicle's 4 months old, right? And California lemon laws, where we acquired the vehicle, says that if a vehicle has been in service, a vehicle that is less than 18 months old has been in service for 30 days or longer, it's eligible to be returned for a refund under the lemon laws. It's either if it's been in service for 30 days or longer, or if it's had to go into service 4 or more times. And if we don't get it back by end of day today, that goes into tomorrow, that'll be day 15. We're like halfway there to being able to turn this thing in on a lemon law case. Yeah, kind of think about that a lot. And the other thing I think about a lot is that, like, look at this campsite. It's beautiful, it's empty. We've been here over the weekend, like this past weekend, where it got kind of busy, and we've just been extending at this site day by day by day, because each day we're not 100% sure, like, oh, is it gonna be ready yet? Is it not? Like, what they told us yesterday is that the pack was installed and they were going to do testing and validation today. That's what was in the text message. But that text message did not say that means it'll be ready tomorrow. They said they're going to test and validate it tomorrow, meaning today. So they're testing and validating it right now. The hopeful side of you would think, oh, that means that all checks out and they'll be able to give it to us. But what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't all check out? What if there are other things that still need to be smoothed out, or the testing and validation process takes more than 1 day? Well, that's where we get to the problem of where we are here. Because apparently this campsite that we're on here, we can't extend this for another day. Someone reserved this for tomorrow. And all these other campsites behind us, these are all going to be packed because there's this huge like music festival / concert happening in Louisville, about 14 miles down the way, right, this weekend. And this entire camp park is going to be completely packed with people camping here to go to that music festival. And all that means is that if Rivian does not deliver our R1S back to us by today or tomorrow, we're going to be in for a bit of a headache. So we're going to have to like pack all this stuff up, pack everything into that minivan, find a new campsite. And you know, like the part of me that's been like accommodating and understanding and looking on the bright side and appreciating, like, oh, it has been nice to just camp and slow down and, you know, get into a slightly different frame of mind than constantly driving, constantly finding the next level 2 charging site, the next campsite, all that other stuff, right? And, you know, get back into some writing, make some progress on that creative work, as well as, you know, just doing the regular day-to-day work on the computer, right? But I never had a problem keeping up with that. There was always time to like go to a library, go to a coffee shop, whatever, do that, right? But that part of me is gonna get, if I have to pack all this stuff up into that minivan and then find another campsite, that part of me is gonna start to get a little annoyed and think a lot more about that countdown to day 30, right? Because again, like they did not say it would be ready today. They said they were going to test it today. What if they test it and they find a whole bunch of other problems? What if this replacement battery pack also has a fault in it, like the battery pack they just took out? Like I don't know. I don't know. The doubt is now planted because I've never experienced anything even close to this with problems with the Model Y. I mean, the biggest problem we had with the Model Y was that someone who parked behind us thought they were in reverse, but were actually in drive and rear-ended us. And then we had to go to a body shop and get it repaired. And that process took about a week and a half, during which we were in a rented Polestar vehicle, you know, electric vehicle thing. But otherwise, there's been like no electrical faults, no problems with the high voltage battery, nothing that I can think of, you know? So we'll see. People tell me, other like Rivian experts tell me like this is super rare. Full high voltage battery pack replacements are super rare, but also what we're doing with the Rivian is super rare. Who else, as far as I know, I don't know, you point them out to me, anyone else who's watching besides me in the future, or maybe even me in the future, rewatching this. Has anyone else gone on the van life with the Rivian R1S, put it through its paces the way we were, and experienced this problem? Because what if this is like not just a fluke from a poorly manufactured battery pack? This is something that's like structural in terms of the R1S just doesn't handle that sort of stress. I mean, Rivian says it does. Rivian guarantees it does. I don't know. We'll see. I really hope that they're able to repair it and we're able to pick it up later this afternoon, probably at like 4 or 5 o'clock, right before they close and the service techs go home, right? That would be ideal. That would be just peachy, because then we could come back here and we would have all of tomorrow morning up until 12 p.m. to break this down and repack it, which, you know, that doesn't take that much time, but it's more so like we've come up with new ideas, my wife and I, about how to pack the things that we have in the Rivian and how to use it and how to better optimize the overall car camping setup. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there, and really hoping that we're able to get back on the road before the weekend, before this whole place gets packed and goes crazy for, I believe the concert is called Louder Than Life. Louder Than Life. Heavy metal, hard rock, something like that. We're not going to be here for it. Anyways, future me, I'll talk to you soon when I become you in the future.